Hi. I'm here. I'm here. Amy, present. I'm here. I think it's been a few weeks, but I thought I'd jump on here and do like a catch up video. I don't have anything to show you or to haul or I got nothing. I don't think so. I thought we'd just sit down and talk about it. Sit down and talk about it. I feel like you're real far away. Let me scoot up. So anyway, I'm just sitting here on the couch. I'm doing laundry, cleaning, chores. I got my sidekick here. Got our little Christmas lights going. And Riley just ran out the door. She's going to I think she's going to paint little ceramic Christmas houses with her boyfriend's grandma. She's real close with his family, and he's out of town, but you know, she does things with his family even if he's not around. So you go, girl, have fun. So with that being said, I'm puppy sitting. Fred, you gonna come say hi? I call him Fred. Anyway, I'm just doing laundry. I wanted to go to Hot Works tonight, but I got too much to do around here. Because, you know, Christmas is coming up. I feel like it's been Christmas for like 2 months. Do you guys feel like that? I feel like it's been Christmas since October. And I'm like, is Christmas ever coming? Am I ready for Christmas? Yeah, almost, kind of almost. I need to buy a few more gifts, but other than that, I'm ready. Oh, I need to wrap them. So once you get the gifts, you have to wrap them. So anyway, let's see what's been going on. What's new? Why have I been absent? So let's start with Shane and I. We're good. You know, nothing exciting. He goes to work. I go to work. He's been busy doing his booths and working, and I've been busy working and cleaning and doing my Hot Works thing, and so that's it with us. So let's start with Dalton and Kira. They're good. Baby's good. Let's see. No new news there other than everything's good. I think we're in what, our 4th month now? Is she in her 4th month? I think. So they are in Stillwater, which is about an hour and a half from here, so we don't get to see them very often. Shane and Dalton were going to go to dinner last night or the night before, but they didn't get to, so they're trying to do that. Let's see, Riley's good. She's on fall break, if that's what you call it, semester break. Is that what it is when you're in college? So she's done with her 1st semester, she's about to start her 2nd semester. I don't remember. I didn't graduate from college, but I went to a junior college for about 5 minutes, and then I decided college wasn't for me. Not for me. So she's on break. So you guys know she is driving, remember my white Kia Optima. She got that her senior year in high school, freshman year in college. She's a junior now. So it broke down like twice. So thank God there were things that Shane could fix, except the last time it was a water pump. So we just got it out of the shop. So Riley's car has been acting up, but she's up and running. So that takes a lot of time and money. And then, so we got her back up and running. She's been kind of sitting duck, you know, off and on. So that drug out for a few weeks, but that got handled. My boys. So Alex and Wyatt. This is what we as a family have been dealing with, which is one reason I haven't been vlogging, because it's just like, you know, one thing right after the other. So my boys Alex lives in a house here, and Wyatt and Jonathan, so Alex and Bryce, did I tell you guys Alex and Chelsea broke up? They broke up a while back. So Alex was in this house by himself, so he's got a buddy, Bryce, who had an apartment just like a half a mile down the road, and so Bryce moved in with Alex. Alex wanted to stay in his house. So Bryce was like, heck yeah. So Bryce and Alex are roommating now. Anyway, so Alex and Bryce, his buddy Bryce, live in a house here. And one block over, Wyatt and Jonathan live in a house. Okay, so my boys live just one block over from each other. Well, the houses that they rent from, they each rent a house. And when I was in property management, remember when I worked for Linco and I had the 2 apartment communities and the 50 rental houses. Remember that? You guys have been with me for a long time. I know, I'm a jack of all trades. So anyway, when I was doing that for 7 or 8 years. So Misty, a friend of mine who also works for Linco, she still works there. When I left, Misty took the apartment communities and all the rental houses. I think there's like 55 rental houses now. The owner had bought like 5 more after I left. So she's got all those rental houses. Well, when the boys needed a house, I just called Misty and said, hey, do you have any vacants? And she's like, yeah. And she was able to get Alex a house, and she was able to get Wyatt a house, and they're right across the block from each other. I'm getting to the point, I promise. So Linco, the company I work for, is the management company. Well, the owner, his name is Jack. He owns these apartment communities and he owns all these rental houses. He lived on the beach in California. Needless to say, he made a few bucks, right? He made a few bucks, and he had a little nest egg. So he's got all this real estate here in Tulsa. Well, and I knew Jack. He was a great guy. He'd pop into town once a year, once every few years, and check on his properties and say hi and just come and visit. And he was just a great, great guy. Good soul, good soul. Well, he passed away. So Jack passed away, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago probably. And he was in his late 80s, I think. So he passed away, and he left these apartment communities and all these rental houses to his daughter. Well, his daughter now owns all these properties. Linco's still managing everything because I think she's in California too. But she don't want to do it anymore. She doesn't want to do it anymore. She wants to liquidate everything. She is liquidating everything. So Misty calls me, and she was in tears because these people that live in these houses, these are just old houses that Jack bought for cash, and they're kind of all in the same area. Some of these people in these rental houses have lived there for like 30 years. Alex has been in his house almost 3 years. Wyatt and Jonathan have been in their house. This summer will be a year. But most of the people, and I knew these people, I've worked with them for years and years and years and collected their rent and made friends with them. And so she wants to liquidate. So they are starting to sell these houses. And Alex's house was one of the first of 20. So she put 20 houses on the market, and she gave them notices that they have 30 days to move. Well, Alex was at the end of his lease. His lease is up, I think it was up December 15th. And so because his lease was coming up, he was one of the first ones to get a notice. Wyatt and Jonathan, their lease isn't up until this spring or this summer, like June or July. Well, so Misty calls me. She was in tears because she knows and loves all these renters too. And she was just sick to her stomach because she's having to tell me that my boys have to move out of their homes that they love, that they were planning on staying in for a long, long time until they were ready to buy something. They were just settled and happy, and my stomach dropped, of course. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen that fast, right? So she's telling me, and so she said I had to hang a notice on Alex's door, and I didn't want Alex to come home. My gotten mom brain. I didn't want Alex to come home, see a notice on his door. Alex is my 30-year-old, and he has a tendency to panic, and his brain is like mine. When something comes at you, our brains go to the worst possible place, right? Like, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be on the street. I can't afford to move right now. And she did it right at Christmas. Like, can we wait till January? I've got my own thoughts and opinions on how she handled this. Like, can we wait? She's like severely wealthy. Can you not wait till after Christmas and then hang notices? And can we have like 60 days maybe? Because I mean, you're like right at Christmas, you're putting people out. Like, you gotta go. You gotta go. And the people that live in these houses, they're not rich. They're not wealthy. They can't just go, oh, well, here's $5,000 to pack up and move, even though I just spent money on Christmas, or I don't have money for Christmas, or I barely got groceries in my house. Like, these are people that don't have, you know, that kind of money. So, and I know these people, you know, and a lot of them had to finagle their rent a week or two here and there, you know. So anyway, so I was like, okay. So I let it sink in and tried not to. I was like, I can't let my mind go to the worst possible place, because I'm mom, and if I go outer limits, Alex is going to go outer limits. And then I was like, worst case scenario, Alex has to put all his stuff in storage. He's going to have to come home and land here for 6 months until he's ready to move again. That's worst case scenario. My kids can always come home. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how broke you are. You can always come home, right? So we have the boys, we call it the boys' bedroom. That's the landing spot for whoever needs to come home. But he doesn't want to do that. He's like, I love you, Mom, but I don't want to do that. And I'm like, I get it. So anyway, I call him. I'm like, Misty, I'll break it to him. I don't want him to come home and see that notice. I wanted to buffer it a little bit because I didn't want him to freak out and panic, because I knew if I was able to tell him, I could go, hey, look, let's zoom out before he freaked out. Let's zoom out. Let's roll with the punches. We're going to figure it out. Everything always works itself out, you know. So I turned into my mom, and my mom was always able to make big scary things seem not big and scary, and so I like to do that for my kids. Wyatt, I knew Wyatt could, he can take a punch in the gut a little bit better. He's not as emotional as, like, he doesn't panic like me and Alex, right? So, and plus he's got time to go, oh, well, Alex is having to move, so we're going to have to move. Our lease is up. So Wyatt and Jonathan have time to plan. Alex and Bryce, no time. So they got 30 days, which ended up going, okay, 6 weeks. So they gave him an extra 2 weeks. So anyway, I call him at work. He didn't freak out. It stressed him out, but he didn't freak out. So I'm like, we're gonna figure it out. You know what? We're gonna figure it out. So anyway, it's been a big to-do. Alex got on his bank account. He got with Bryce. He got on Zillow, and that child, my child, he's 30, but that child found a house immediately. He started sending me, Mom, what do you think of this? Mom. And he wanted to stay in the same area because my boys live over by Riverside, and we all love that area. And they want to stay over there, and it's close to their work, and, you know, it just works. We're way out south Broken Arrow, so it takes like 20-25 minutes for me to get to my boys' house. And my boys like living across the street from each other. One block over, they love that. They're constantly spending time together, helping each other out mow their lawns, just being brothers and doing the thing and having dinner together. And, you know, just like Alex texted me last night, and he's like, yeah, I went over and hung out with Wyatt and Jonathan for a little bit, and he was feeling a little stressed out, and he's like, I got to hug my brother, and I just feel so much better. And he's like, Mom, I just don't know he said, Wyatt is I don't know what I'd do without him, and I don't know what I would do without you. And Alex is my big tender teddy bear. You guys don't see him very much. I think Riley's really the only one you see too much of, but and they're all growing up. You know, they got their own lives. But anyway, so where was I? Squirrel. Anyway, they like living. They like living that close, and now they're not going to get to. But Alex started hustling. He started hustling. So instead of panicking, he just started hustling. And then I'm thinking about money, you know, because I don't have a big, huge nest egg just to give him. You know, here's $3,000 to go move. And and then his dad, Chris, the boy's dad, called me. He was freaking out. He lives up in Minnesota, so he was calling me, and he's like, Amy, I just got off the phone with Alex, and then I talked to Wyatt, and he said the boys are being evicted, and and like, he was in a tizzy. And he's like, I know these used to be your rental properties, and I just need you to explain to me, you know, what's going on, because I'm just want to make sure I'm getting the right story, and Alex is having to move, and do we have to make sure that both the boys, you know, need to find a house right now, or is Alex going to be first, and then Wyatt? He had all these questions. So my boy's dad is like massive energy. He's 5'6", about 150 pounds. He's not a big guy. I have mad respect for my ex-husband, my boy's dad. Mad respect. Anyway, so I was like, okay, calm down, Metallica. And I think he had me on speaker, and his wife, Sophia, who I love and adore, my ex-husband's wife, Sophia, she, you know, she had all the questions too, and they feel helpless because they're way up in Minnesota. And so I gave him the lowdown. I'm like, breathe, gave him the lowdown, and I'm like, we're going to take care of Alex first, and then we'll take care of Wyatt and Jonathan. And then, of course, Bryce's parents. Bryce had to call his parents, and they're about 3 hours away, and they're like, okay, well, just let us know whatever you need, because everybody's like, we got to find a house. We gotta scrape together a bunch of money, because you can't just throw, you know, $500 on a deposit, $50 for a pet deposit, you know, and first month's rent, and you've got $1,000, $2,000. It's not like that anymore. You got to come up with like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to move these days, you know. And so I don't know about you guys, but it's just not a thing. So I was like, Alex, I was like, you've got me and Shane, your dad, Sophia, Bryce's parents, your grandparents. So we all just kind of made it happen, right? We made it happen. So he, inside of 48 hours, that child found a house that is half a mile down the road. The rent is about $400 more a month, which makes my tummy hurt. But he's like, Mom, we're just going to make it work. And he said, Bryce and I are going to sign a 1-year lease. And inside that 1 year, we are going to find somewhere else. And they're going to move again, because it's a lot of money for what they're getting. But it you know, and I said, that's a good idea. Just get in there. You know, you don't have to unpack all the way. Just get in there, do your 12 months. In the meantime, find something you really like and something that's better on both your budgets. You know, and you never know what's going to happen in a year. You don't ever know what's going to happen. So, cute house. It is adorable. And it's just still in a good neighborhood. And so, got that all done. And they have until January 15th, but they'll be out by the 1st. They're already ready to go. So last weekend, me and Kips here, let's say hi. Me and Kips here went over to Alex and Bryce's, and we packed up his bathroom. We packed up his kitchen. I think that was about it. That was the bulk. You know, they're 2 dudes. They don't have like a crap ton of stuff like Shane and I do. The day ever comes where we have to move out of this house, I'm going to be like, I'm going to have to get therapy. And I'm going to have to get myself mentally prepared, because there is so much stuff. And that's our own fault. We like to go picking. But whatever. So the day's going to come where somebody's going to have to pack up this house, whether Shane and I stay here the rest of our lives and we pass away and it's all left to the kids, or Shane and I downsize. My dream would be to downsize, but that's a whole other story. But we've been in this house for almost 9 years. you know, and you collect a lot of stuff over 9 years. You're in somewhere, and I don't want to. I would love to move, but our mortgage is such a great price that it would be silly, you know, to move into something smaller with the same mortgage. Like, that's a whole other video, whatever. So our house has a great price tag, so we'll probably be here for a while. And plus, we're gonna need the space. We got a grandbaby on the way. We got another grand dog, and who knows, gonna, you know, dogs and grandbabies, and we'll probably just stay here, which is fine with me. I love my house. I love my house. I love the price tag. We're in a great area. Okay, so moving on. So we've been busy with that, and that has been all-consuming, time-wise and emotionally. And the stress, and so and still trying to get my house in order, come on, so we can have our holidays, and still need to shop, still need to clean, still need to cook, you know, all the things. Come on, buddy. Where's Alfred? Did he go? Alfred will take himself upstairs and he'll put himself in bed. He'll be running the streets down here, just running the house like a chicken with his head cut off, and then all of a sudden he disappears, and you're like, where's Alfred? And then you'll go upstairs into his bedroom, Riley's room, and he's got a spot under her bed, and he's got a pillow, and he don't want to go in his kennel. He wants to go to his spot and go to bed. He's had a big day today. Whenever she leaves, she takes him, except, you know, here and there on like little things like she's got going on tonight. She's like, can I leave him? And I'm like, yeah. Of course. So anyway, we've been consumed with all the housing thing, and in the middle of all this, Alex's 4Runner broke down. It didn't break down, but the steering column, I don't know, something happened with Alex's car. Well, Alex is he does auto body for a living, so he does the body, and he does the painting, and that's what he does for a living. But he can still get in there, and he's a little bit of a mechanic, so if something's wrong with his car, he'll fix it himself, or he'll get with his buddies, because they're all car guys, and all his friends do cars, except Bryce. And they'll get together, and if they don't know how to do it, they'll YouTube it, and they get it done. So he's trying to scrape together money, find a house, fix his car, pack his house, just so much. That poor kid. Anyway, we've just been talking every day. You doing good? You doing good? And then yesterday he's like, Mom, I think I got strep. He's like, I don't feel good. He had some leftover amoxicillin from when he was sick before, and he's like, I've got like 4 amoxicillin left, and he's like, I'm just gonna take those and go to bed. And God love it, he's pushing through. Just stressed, like one thing right after the other. So Alex is getting settled. Wyatt and Jonathan will be next. Wyatt and Jonathan. So right now, the Tulsa Ballet is doing their performance at the Nutcracker. And so we squeezed in going to the Nutcracker, me and Wyatt and a lady that he works with. She's like in her 60s. So Wyatt is 25. And a lady that he works with, she's older than me. I'm 51. I think she's like 60. Anyway, Wyatt's like, hey, Mom, I'm going to bring Cheryl to the Nutcracker. And I'm like, awesome, love it. He's like, she's like 60, you're going to love her. And I'm like, beautiful, love it. And so me, Wyatt, and Cheryl went and watched Jonathan perform in the Nutcracker, and he got the role as the prince, and so he was the star, right? And that was incredible and amazing, and I still wish that I could record, but you can't. So we went and saw the Nutcracker, and I met Cheryl, and it was so funny because Wyatt works with her, and Wyatt just, you know, if you're a cool cat, you know, and you what I'm trying to say is Wyatt's circle is very small. It's very small. Riley's circle is very small. Alex is more like me, where we're like, the more the merrier, the more friends the better, the more the merrier. Riley, Shane, Wyatt, they keep their circle very small. And so, with that being said, he really, really likes Cheryl, and she's real high energy. So I got to meet her, and she is precious. She and I just talk nonstop, and poor Wyatt. So I was sitting here, Wyatt was sitting in the middle at the ballet in the theater, and Cheryl was on the other side. Me and Cheryl, we should have sat by each other, but we were sitting there talking back and forth over Wyatt. And she's from California, and we didn't run out of things to talk about. Me and her, we just got along really, really well. And she's Native American, and she's beautiful. And I looked at her and I said, "You are so pretty." And she's like, "Thank you." And I said, "No, listen to me." I said, "You are gorgeous." And she said, "Thank you." And I'm like, "You're Native, aren't you?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm Cherokee." And I said, "You have those gorgeous brown eyes and that olive skin and that just gorgeous." I said, "You're so pretty." And she's like, "Thank you." And that was the first time she got to meet Jonathan. So when the ballet was over, we went backstage. We didn't go backstage, but not the literal stage behind the curtain, but behind that where they, change costumes and where they leave the theater. So we went back there, and we were backstage waiting for Jonathan. And so Jonathan, that's the first time he got to meet Cheryl too. And so we just had a grand time. So we did that. I've been talking for 26 minutes. If you guys have made it this far, God love you. God love you. Apparently I had a lot to talk about because I haven't got to share anything with you guys. What else? I don't know, but I was, real quick, and then I'll let you go. Oh! My sister. Can I give you some Kimberly news? Okay, so when I went to Lubbock, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Thanksgiving, when I went to Lubbock for Thanksgiving. And I vlogged there, and you saw clips of Donovan. Well, Donovan lives he goes by Donnie. I like Donovan, but he lives like a mile and a half down the road from Kimberly. And they've been talking for well over a year, I think. And he has wanted to date her. He has wanted to lock it down, date her, marry her. Like, he adores her. He adores her. And Kimberly has been living in survival trauma mode, right? Because y'all don't know the whole story, but divorce, single mom, 3 kids, trying to pay the bills. Just, there's so much in Kimberly's story that I will not divulge here, but trauma. So she's coming out of 4 years divorced, 4 or 5 years they've been divorced, but it's just been hell. It's been hell on her with like court and custody and school, and not custody, but court. And just, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, she's been living like 5 years of trauma. Well, Donnie came in the picture a little over a year ago, and he just wants to love her and take care of her and take care of those boys. And she just wasn't ready. She was ready, but she wasn't ready. You know what I mean? When you're living in survival mode and you're just trying to pay the bills and you're just trying to function, and get up. If you've ever been divorced, you understand. Just trying to do life. And so anyway, long story short, it has come full circle. It has come around, and Kimberly and Donovan are dating. Donnie, they're dating. It's serious. It's serious. They decided to finally make it official. They changed their Facebook statuses. If you change your status on Facebook in a relationship when you're 53 years old, it's serious, right? So I told her, she was kind of starting to think about, she's like, "Amy, I think I kind of want to, be serious with Donnie." And I'm like, okay. And she's been telling me about him for over a year, telling me about him. And, and I'm trying to leave out all the details because we'll be here all night. And it's Kimberly's story, not mine. So I was like, okay, well, I'm coming down for Thanksgiving. Let me meet him. Okay, let me put my little sister's seal of approval on it. Okay, and she's like, okay. So when I went down there, I adored him right out of the gate. Besides all the positive and the good things that she's told me about him, he is a good old boy, and he just is good people, and he's ready to scoop her and them boys up and just take care of them and love them. And he's very much acts of service, and he's just good people. And so the first night I was there, he came over. I was excited. I'm like, where is Donnie? I want to meet Donnie. And so that first night, after we all had dinner together and everything, he left. And she walks him to the front door, and I'm sitting on the couch, and like her front door is over here, and I'm sitting on the couch, and she goes and she shuts the door, and she's standing in the entryway, and you can see her couch from there, and she turns around and she goes, what do you think? And I said, I don't know what the hell you've been waiting on. And she's like, oh my God, are you serious? And I said, why did it take you this long? I said, he is a gem. He is Kimberly. I said, listen, and this is all in fun, but I said, I was serious, but what I'm about to tell you is all in fun. I said, if you want to get married again someday, and you want a good man, and you don't want to live the rest of your life alone, and you want to have a good male figure for these boys, I said, if you don't pick that one, because I've seen the other one she's dated. I've met a few. I said, if you don't pick that one, I said, I'm going to get back in my car. I'm going to drive up here. I'm going to knock the hell out of you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slap you right across the face and knock you out. And she goes, okay, I give you full permission. I said, girl, scoop him up. So anyway, he came over, had Thanksgiving. He's got a daughter, and we got to meet her. She's precious. She's 16, so she's got another year of high school left. And anyway, her and Kimberly get along just fine, and she's real happy for them. And they're talking about the future. We're talking about the future. We're talking about locking it down. We're talking about him selling his house. They're gonna live in her house, and eventually they want some land. They want some horses. I think they have the same dreams and goals, you know. So they both love Lubbock. They're gonna stay there, and he's just good people, and I'm really excited about it, you know. So that's big news. If you only knew the trauma that my sister has been living in, this is a God thing. And Kimberly and I have spent hours on the phone talking about God finding her a husband and praying. I'm like, we have prayed, God, you know the desires of Kimberly's heart. This can make me cry. You know the desires of Kimberly's heart. She would pray out loud, and I would pray out loud. And we're like, God, you did not create us to be alone. Kimberly does not want to be alone, and she's struggling, and she wants a partner and a best friend and a husband and somebody who's going to love her and adore her. And you pick him out, God. You pick him out. You pick him. And so we've been praying for Donnie for a long time. We didn't know who he was going to be. We didn't know what it was going to look like or how long it was going to take. But it's happening, and God has answered. This is what I was going to say, and then I'll let you go. God has answered so many prayers, and over the last 30, 60 days, he has poured out blessings on my family, pulled us out of stressful situations, made a way in the wilderness, and answered prayers, and it's like it's all happening at once. And we have just been blessed and highly favored. And I was laying in bed the other night, and I was like, just in the last 60 days, he's done this, and 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 he's just pouring it out. He's just pouring out on my family. And I'm just so grateful. And I was driving to work, I think it was yesterday morning, and all I could think was, I wish Mom was here. I wish Mom was here, because my sister found the man that she's possibly going to spend the rest of her life with. That's the way we're going. I'm gonna be a grandma. We got a new puppy. The boys are moving into new houses. Alex has been struggling with a lot, and he's coming into a lot of healing and wholeness. And, you know, Wyatt was without a job for a little while, and he found a job, and he's happy, and he loves it, and just blessings on blessings. And I just wish I could tell Mom, you know, this is our second year without her. This is, our second, let's see. Yeah, this is our second Christmas. We lost her November 2nd of 2022. So 23, 24 is our second Christmas without Mom, and sometimes I get sad because I have so many things I want to call her and tell her. You have no idea how bad I want to call her and tell her we're having a grandbaby. Your baby's gonna be a grandma. Well, I'm gonna be a Mimi. I'm gonna be Mimi. I mean, that's the name I picked. The baby will pick out what he wants. But Christopher, did I tell you they're gonna name him Christopher? Did I tell you that? I don't know if I told you that. As of right now, they're gonna name him Christopher. Oh, keep playing with my hair. It's getting long and it's hanging on my neck and it's driving me crazy, and it's taking everything I have not to call Shanna and go cut my hair off. But anyway, I wanted to talk to Mom so bad. I've got so much to tell her, and I know Kimberly feels the same way. I just wish she could see Kimberly coming full circle and the grandbaby, and just be, I wouldn't ask her to come back. Lord, no, I wouldn't ask her to come back. I would not ask her to come back. Look, if I'm in heaven, don't even try to ask me to come back, okay? I ain't doing it. I ain't coming back. But anyway, I just wish I could tell her. Just a lot of firsts and a lot of healing and a lot of blessings, and I just want to tell her. So I'm gonna get off of that because I'll sit here and cry and cry and cry. But anyway, that's where I've been. There's 40 minutes of catch up on my life, and I'm starting to cry. It's making me thirsty. So I'm gonna go drink a half a gallon of water, pull some clothes out of the dryer, and go find Alfred. Pretty sure I already know where he's at. But anyway, I'll try to come back. And vlog some more this month. I knew with everything going on, Vlogmas was not going to be an option. It wasn't going to be an option. So I didn't even try. So anyway, I'm sure I've probably missed something. I'm sure there's more. I do not know. I don't know. But that's what I got for tonight. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, God love you. God love you if you sat here for 40 minutes and listened to me run my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love you guys. The Lord loves you more, and we will see you in the next video.